As 8-year-old Saina leaned over the glittering machine her parents had been working on, her eyes widened with excitement. The machine was so intricate, with buttons, dials, and softly glowing lights that seemed to hum with secrets. Her mom and dad had warned her not to touch it, saying it wasn't quite ready. But Saina was a curious soul, especially about science and history, and the idea of a time machine, one that could actually travel back to the days of dinosaurs, was too tempting to ignore. Gently, she sat down in the machine's cool metal seat, her little hands tracing the buttons. Just one press, she whispered to herself. Click. The machine suddenly came to life. The lights whirled, and Saina felt herself swept up as the world around her spun, faster and faster until, bam! The machine stopped and Saina opened her eyes. But she wasn't in her cozy home anymore. The air was warm and filled with the sounds of buzzing insects and rustling leaves. Thick green plants, taller than her, surrounded her on all sides. Saina's heart thudded with both excitement and fear as she took in the scene around her. If you enjoyed this adventure, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Suddenly, she heard a soft rustle nearby and a large shape emerged from behind a bush. Saina gasped. It was a young Brachiosaurus with a long neck and enormous round eyes, staring at her with curiosity. The dinosaur tilted its head and took a gentle step forward, as if trying to figure out who this strange little creature was. Saina took a deep breath and smiled. "Hi there," she whispered. The Brachiosaurus blinked and then made a soft, friendly sound, nudging her with its nose. She carefully reached out her hand and patted its smooth, warm skin. "Do you have a name?" she asked, though she wasn't really expecting an answer. But in her mind, she felt a connection to this gentle dinosaur and decided to name him Benny. As she looked around, trying to make sense of where she was, Benny began leading her through the jungle. It was as if he understood she was lost and wanted to help her find her way. Saina felt comforted by Benny's presence and followed him, glancing around with wide eyes at the towering ferns and strange ancient trees. After a short walk, Benny stopped and looked back, making a soft grunting sound. Saina looked around and noticed more shapes approaching through the dense foliage. 2 more dinosaurs emerged, a Triceratops with 3 magnificent horns and a proud, confident stance, and a Stegosaurus with a row of spiky plates down its back. The Triceratops stepped forward, giving Saina an assessing look with her bright eyes. Saina couldn't help but smile and whispered, "You look like a Trixie." The Triceratops snorted, almost as if agreeing. Next to her, the Stegosaurus looked a bit more cautious but still curious. He seemed a bit shy, so Saina gave him a gentle smile. "And you, I'll call Ollie." Now she had 3 friends, Benny, Trixie, and Ollie. Saina took a deep breath, feeling a bit braver with her new dinosaur friends around her. But just as she started to feel comfortable, Trixie's head shot up, her eyes narrowing as she looked into the dark trees behind them. A low growl rumbled from somewhere deep in the jungle, and Benny took a cautious step back. Saina's heart pounded. Her friends didn't need to say it. She could feel the danger in the air. "What is it?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Ollie made a low whimpering sound, glancing nervously toward the trees. It was Rex. The mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex, the king of the dinosaurs, lurked somewhere in the shadows. His powerful roar echoed through the forest, making every leaf quiver and sending a shiver down Saina's spine. She knew that if Rex found them, they'd be in big trouble. Trixie nudged Saina gently, urging her to follow them as they crept quietly through the jungle. Saina tried to keep her steps as soft as possible, listening to every rustle and distant call, her heart thudding with excitement and fear. The sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows across the ground. Benny led them to a small cave hidden by ferns, a safe place where they could rest for the night. Once inside, Trixie carefully positioned herself near the entrance, her watchful eyes scanning the jungle for any sign of danger. Benny lay down beside Saina, his warmth comforting her in the growing darkness. Ollie, still a bit nervous, curled up nearby. As they settled in, Saina felt her nerves calming. In the safety of the cave, the dangers outside seemed a little less frightening. Her new friends began to relax, and as they did, Trixie began to tell stories of the jungle, of the hidden streams, the ancient trees, and the other dinosaurs who lived nearby. "Do you ever get scared of Rex?" Saina asked softly. Trixie nodded, her eyes serious. "We all do," she seemed to say. "But as long as we stick together and stay hidden, we're safe." Ollie perked up a bit, seeming to nod in agreement. Saina listened intently, her eyes wide with wonder. She could hardly believe she was here, surrounded by real dinosaurs, listening to their stories as if they were old friends. As the night wore on, Saina found herself drifting to sleep on a soft bed of ferns, feeling safe with Benny, Trixie, and Ollie close by. She knew this was only the beginning of her adventure in the lost land of dinosaurs. Tomorrow, with the help of her new friends, she would continue her journey to find her way back to the time machine. But for now, in the dim light of the cave, surrounded by her loyal dinosaur friends, she felt at peace, drifting into dreams filled with jungles, rivers, and more mysteries waiting to be explored. End of episode 1. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures with Saina.